Caution, switching from Zepbound to Tirzepatide compound. 1 month later, 7 changes you need to know about if you're switching too. Hi besties, I'm Elizabeth, the Countess of Shopping. If we don't know each other, I've lost over 113 pounds the last almost 3 years of being on Zepbound, Mounjaro, and the latest has been Tirzepatide compound, which I'd been on previously, which is GLP-1 plus GIP. And on today's episode, I want to talk about seven changes in the last month of me being prescribed Tirzepatide compound. Now, a couple of things. It has not been continuous, and I'm going to get into that as to why, so you don't make the same mistake I did, hence the warning on this. But I think one of the biggest things that I want to first clarify is I've lost weight this month. And I'm basically at maintenance, by the way, to give some context on it. I've lost 113 pounds. The remaining weight that I have is loose skin. I'm not having my loose skin removal surgery. The doctor is so backed up, it will be, to get just a consultation will be like another 10 months. And then the actual surgery is another 6 months after that. So to give context, I'm basically in maintenance. So weight loss for me is really not apples to apples at this point. But there was several things I noticed that I was like, I've got to tell my besties. One, changing from Zepbound 15 milligrams, the highest dose, over to Tirzepatide compound, which is GLP-1 plus GIP, is the dosage is not the same, and then the units of measurement is also not the same. So the dosage for number one of what's been different is my dosage was 15 milligrams. It's now, and it varies each shipment, my dosage is actually 11.125 milligrams. So it's not 15 milligrams, it's less than that. So going from the highest dose to less than that, I knew my appetite suppression would change. I knew that like my body would just react differently because it's not the same dose. The dosage going, it was not the same. Zepbound 15 milligrams is not the same as Tirzepatide compound, which for me, where I go, which is linked in the description link below. Feel free to use my discount code if you're looking to switch. It was 11.125 milligrams. Milligrams versus units. So I use units within the Tirzepatide compound, not milligrams. And so it could be, for example, I'm just making this up, but 90 units. It changes each shipment because the concentration level of the compound varies. It varies from shipment. It varies if you use different compound pharmacies, depending on how your telehealth company works. So don't think, and so what comes in that vial is different quantities in there. So 1 month it could be, oh, you're going to be doing, I'm just making this up, but like 55 units. And then the next shipment, it could be like 80 units. That's because the concentration levels are different. That was quite confusing to me. And I feel like I'm smarter than the average bear. So if I was having issues, I wanted to clarify for that to other people. It's like, oh, that makes sense that the units, they're using units on the needle. And within those units, that can change because the concentration levels change. Number two, pens versus needles. Bum, bum, bum. This is where I had a major mistake. This was no one else's error except for me, but I just don't want you to make the same mistake. Pens need to be refrigerated. They shouldn't be frozen. They can be left out technically, although I always like to refrigerate mine from Zepbound or Mounjaro when I was on it for optimal level. The concentrate that comes in for the vials, for the needle, that needs to be refrigerated, and I left it out. After I did my injection, I literally took my needle and I went to go dispose of it properly because it's a needle. I don't want to leave a needle around. A pen, I don't want to leave this around, but I can put the cap on it. I can put it up higher. To me, it's a little bit different leaving a pen out for my family structure, and everybody's home is different. None of this is medical advice. You do you. But for me, leaving the pen out on, like, for example, the window ledge for like while I organize things versus a needle, this scares the dickens out of me to leave out. And so I immediately went to go put that away, and oh my, excuse me. And excuse me, it's good luck to sneeze 3 times. And that's, I've got a cold. Here we are. The third one's coming at some point. So pens versus needles, I left the compound out and I noticed like 4 days later. And because it has other additives, not just the Tirzepatide compound in there, it has other things in it. I erred on the side of not using it. That was on me. So I've gotten my next shipment, if that makes sense, of using it. I'd used it for a week and then now I'm back to using it for another week. And so it's all good. It's all good. But I had to wait as a result of that dumb error and use my old ZepBound pens because I had leftovers. I ordered, and we're going to talk about that, the ordering structure here in a minute. But noticing that, and then the setup for me is quite different. It's a little bit more laborious, getting my needle set up and drawing it and doing it myself. That for me is different. That for me very much is different of getting the setup. The pen takes me, I don't know, like 60 seconds. The needle takes a little bit more time. It used to take me 30 minutes. I'm much faster now. But like getting the alcohol wipes out, which I did for the pen, but it's different. Like swabbing the vial, swabbing my skin, swabbing after, like I would still swab all of that with a pen, but to me it's very much different with a needle. Watching the needle go in and all of that, slightly different. Number 3, side effects. Side effects can be different because there's things that are added, which I elect to add, by the way. You can elect to have certain things, like if you're lacking energy or if you're having like constipation or things like there's different things. I'm forgetting all the things you can click, but for me, I can totally customize it for how I'm feeling, which I'm obsessed with. But that also does mean there's different side effects. And so diarrhea, constipation, nausea, vomiting, most common side effects. For me, one of the best things I did, and I have done since the very beginning, almost 3 years ago, was take LMNT electrolytes. I love LMNT electrolytes because they have magnesium, potassium, and sodium. And with having diarrhea expelling out, having an electrolyte to help with that side effect, super beneficial. Being constipated, magnesium helps with that, super helpful for that. Nausea, I'll lightly sip on my drink. I'll usually put in a 40-ounce tumbler, and you can customize it. I usually use a third of my stick in there in a 40-ounce tumbler. If you want more, if you want less, whatever works well for you. The Count and I and the Duke all take, my 10-year-old takes LMNT electrolytes. The Duke takes them for his leg cramps for sports. So it really does help for different side effects. It's been a very effective tool for me to easily use. I like the different flavors on them, but you can go to drinkelement.com/queen, QUEEN, and get free sticks with any purchase. They've been super generous to the Countess of shopping community. Thanks, LMNT. They do also have their fantastic thin, slim cans. They're so good. My favorite one is pineapple. They're so good. They're so good. They're so good. It's like my favorite. I'm obsessed. So anyways, side effects, that's definitely something. And I'll put that down, by the way, in the description link below too for you. The side effects, I thought would be similar, but they do vary. They do vary, and that makes sense, right? Particularly also if you're titrating up on doses, always be mindful that side effects will change with that too. Number 4, appetite suppression. My appetite suppression has maintained the same. Using ZepBound pen, using Tirzepatide compound, that has not been an issue. I was very nervous about that. Very nervous about that. Appetite suppression, same. Like super happy about that. Been awesome, awesome, awesome in terms of that component with that. One of the other things that I do want to mention, going back over real fast for number 2, but really it would be in my notes here, it would be number 5, would be the pen versus needle is disposal. Making sure you're following your state's laws or county's laws as to how you're supposed to properly dispose of your pen is probably different than it is with having the needle, which I just dropped on the floor, so I'm going to pick that up and put that away. Having the needle, the disposal process is probably a little different. Being mindful and knowing how that is important, and knowing your rules for that is also important. Number 5, cost. It's probably one of my favorites. I was like, first and foremost, does the medication work? Check, it does. Is it giving me blowout, crazy diarrhea, or wacko side effects? Check, it's not. Number 3, what's the cost difference? For me, it's 50% change in price point. If I do the annual payments, it is 50% less than paying for brand name. Now, pens, there's a couple things that you can do a little bit differently on that to shave off a little bit of the cost. But basically, as of right now, until we see new pricing structures kick in 2026 and new formularities added to insurance companies, but insurance companies are dropping like it's hot, dropping like it's not hot for the ZepBound pen, and taking ZepBound off of their formularity list of what is covered. It's so frustrating. That is one of the options for me. With my husband worked for Homeland Security back in January, did choose to leave that, so our insurance has very much changed as we proceed forward. And so I was looking for ways to help reduce our healthcare costs. And to me, it made sense pending It worked the same. I felt the same. My health was good, right? Like keeping all of those, to me, that's like basic common sense though. But ding, 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 the cost is thousands and thousands of dollars of savings per year. That to me did make sense until my insurance company, hello, my insurance company, pick it up, please. Pick up the phone, I'm calling you to help get the formularity included, and it's not. So having that cost savings, super, super beneficial. Number 6, this one, I wasn't really expecting it, but it's been a major time savings for me, and time savings for me equates to money. So when I can save time, I actually do. That's great for my pocketbook. Is ordering and refills is substantially easier for me through getting my Tirzepatide compound. Substantially. How I had to order my pens before was at Walmart. And so calling them, sometimes the text system, when I was titrating doses, it was a mess. But now that I've been on the same dose, I was on Zepbound 15 milligrams when I was on the same dose, getting it, I'd go over there and I could get it shipped to my house by paying extra each month. And I just never did that because I knew I was switching over to the compound, and I was like, I'm not going to pay for that to get the Walmart shipment of it. But also I would pick it up every 23 days. And so knowing your pickup time, we're going to talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about it now. The pickup time matters. And so how I had leftover pens to be able to use when I made that mistake of leaving the compound out, I had leftover pens because I had built up, if you take these pens every 28 days, one pen is in a week times 4 in a box, it's 28 days. Picking it up every 23 days got me a 5-day buffer. And so 5 days plus 5 days plus 5 days plus 5 days, month after month after month after month, you can see how that is advantageous of having not a stockpile, because it's not, but having a buffer for when I travel or when I make mistakes like what I did is very, very helpful. And I travel a lot for work. So having it's helpful to have that buffer. So knowing your ordering times, but I can also order, I forget how many days it is. I need to go check. Is it 25 days? I will submit on the 25th day. I need to double check that. Don't quote me on that. But ordering, and I order online. I don't have to talk to a human being. It's much easier, and then it gets shipped directly to my house. Now, the shipping to my house with my travel, if I'm not here, we recently were at Disney. And so when we were at Disney, I was very nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, is my Tirzepatide compound coming? I'm gonna have to have someone come pick it up and someone come put it in the fridge. Yee! Thank goodness that didn't happen. And so in terms of the shipment part of that, if you travel, being super smart about that, of your refill date versus your travel versus having somebody there to be able to take it out of the box to put it in the refrigerator, right? Just keeping that in mind, right? Which would be the same, by the way, too, if you were shipping it for, like, say you're having like Amazon, I'm just throwing that out there, ship for like Zepbound pens. Same thing, you still have to have somebody come pick it up, but just being mindful of that, you have to do, I guess, for both. But for me, them seeing the needles, would be nervous more so than like the pens, because the pens come in the box, and these they come in bags. And so it's like all very well organized together. The needles, the alcohol swipes, and then the concentrate comes in I'll make sure I'm not showing you guys any information, but they come in like prescription bottle. I'm not showing you anything there. They come in prescription bottles like this, right? Like just a normal prescription bottle. So keeping that in mind, I just didn't want someone touching that if they were picking it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So know your ordering and refill timeframes. It's going to vary, probably. For me, it definitely did. Number 7, going back to travel, the actual travel component of being on Tirzepatide compound versus Zepbound pen, it's basically the same, but just being mindful of it. For me, when I travel, the disposal of how do I get the used needle home or the used pen home, right? Like, know how you're going to figure that out in advance. Don't be in like a hotel room in Vegas and be like, how am I going to get rid of this? Not that I've done that. I've totally done that. And so I ended up taking the pen home with me back in my container, but just being mindful of that. I love using there's certain containers I really, really appreciate using that I like. There's cheap ones you can get, which I've talked about before, but I like these. Just being mindful of how you pack it in, pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. Packing in needles in here is different than pens, right? And so in terms of travel, that may vary for travel for you in terms of your containers in which you're taking your medication in. And then subsequently on travel, then once you do your injection, how are you going to get it home or dispose of it? Have a game plan for that. Don't make that up in the fly when you're in the hotel room like, oh, so I have this little needle here. Like, don't leave it in for housekeeping. Like, and if you're staying at a hotel or an Airbnb or things like that, like, do not do that. Know how you're going to dispose of it before you travel, and then like a plan to like get it home. I was a little bit nervous about TSA with it, and which I've done whole videos on travel. It's fine. It's all fine. I always take with me the prescription, whether it was on my Zepbound box or with the compound. I always have that prescription with me. So then there's no question if anyone asks. I have all of my proper documentation. I've dotted my I's and crossed my T's. Like, just being super mindful about that is, I think, important for me. For me, that matters. For you, maybe less so mattering on it. But overall, it's been awesome. I wish I kind of had done it sooner, to be honest. I do like how easy the pens are, and until that pen price changes, I will be continuing with using the compound. It just doesn't make sense in lieu of all the costs that are happening right now. It just doesn't make sense to pay for brand name when literally I do feel the same. Now, if you were switching, say, from Tirzepatide to semaglutide, which I've done other videos on, and I know many of you have had to do that because of insurance changes of, say, switching from Zepbound to WEGOVY or Tirzepatide compound to semaglutide compound. Semaglutide compound, excuse me, is a little bit less expensive than Tirzepatide compound. And also, prepayment for a year is less expensive than obviously paying month to month. To me, I know I'm going to be on it for a year, so I'm like, might as well get the discounted savings on it. But so there is price drops in terms of that with the compound too that you should figure out. And I have my discount code with that as well, which is super helpful. So I hope all of this helps you. One of the biggest things that I did was I also got my flu shot and COVID vaccine. And then I had another facial procedure too. And so I was nervous about all those things going into my body in addition to the changes. And so keeping that in mind, for me, it was during the time that I was taking my Zepbound pound anyway, but I probably, because I was just nervous about that. I feel like in hindsight, I didn't really have anything to be nervous about of like contraindications, because there's not. But I just want to share, I did do all of those things and it was not an issue, like, at all. Easy breezy, a beautiful cover girl. It was totally fine. So, because I know some people have been nervous about that. It was totally fine. So, so I'm pumped. Bottom line, I'm pumped. I wish I had done it sooner. I wish I had saved myself the money sooner. For me, it was finding a reputable company I've been with for 2 years now, over 2 years. And so for me, that took away like, oh, what is the compound part coming from? Is it, obviously do your due diligence on it, of course, because you are injecting something into your body. But for me, coming from a legitimate compound pharmacy versus, say, like, for example, no shade at all, no shade, but like retatrutide, it's not released on the marketplace yet. It's still in clinical trials with the FDA. It's still in clinical trials for Eli Lilly. It's not been released. And so what is on the marketplace right now, like, you mix those, like this I'm not mixing. The compound vial comes already mixed. I don't want to mix things. I don't bake cakes well. So why would I possibly want to mix something that I have to inject in my body? To me, it's like, I don't want to do that at all. Some people feel very comfortable with that. You do you, but for me, that seems unsafe. That is my opinion. If you feel like that mixing things makes sense to you, that's not been my experience. I would not be good at that, which is why I like the vials, because they already come pre-mixed. Like, it's already done. I just pull it out and then put it into the needle. And then just make sure it's refrigerated afterwards. Don't leave it out for 4 days. And by the way, if I had left it out for a day, I probably wouldn't be so nervous. But the fact that it was 4 days and it had other additives in there per my request, that's where I was like, I'm going to err on the side of caution, which was painful. I was like, man, that's like such a waste. But I'd rather be safe than sorry, so to speak. And it was fine. So, my sweet friends, make sure if you are looking to go take advantage of, that's not what I wanted to show you guys, to go ahead and take advantage of my free sticks with any Element electrolyte purchase, go to drinkelement.com/queen, QUEEN. Take advantage of that, particularly with side effects. It's been super helpful for me as I continue my journey. Element's been a part of that for almost 3 years now, which is crazy. And I highly recommend it. It's been awesome. Obviously, before taking any supplements, talk to your healthcare provider. None of this is medical advice. My sweet friends, our emoji of the day today is going to be a frog. Ribbit, ribbit. I have no reason other than I'm wearing green today. Normally my emojis of the day mean something. Today there's nothing behind it. Frog is our emoji of the day. It's our bat signal that you made it this far in the video. It's also my bat signal to pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, uplift you in positive thought, as all are welcome at the Countess of Shopping table. So emoji of the day, frog. My sweet friends, I look forward to talking to you guys also in our free encouragement group. If you've not checked in today, oh, what are you doing? The group is free. Go check in, either give or get. If you need to give something, give it, and encouragement. If you need to get something, take it. Like, that is where the group is really, really helpful along our daily accountability on our weight loss journeys. So my sweet friends, and that will also be linked in the description, link below, as all the links are. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping, counting our blessings because life is delicious. Love y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys. Have a great day. Bye.